Welcome back, my loves, to another episode of The Story Behind the Story. This is the podcast where we at Red Thread Publishing bring in authors and thought leaders, women creating their stories and sharing their voices with the world. In this episode, I've invited an author of a book we put out about 90 days ago, Feisty. Crystal is here. We're going to talk about the book writing process, what's on the other side of published, and then we're going to dig into how we move forward beyond that. As always, if there's anything that you hear here that is super helpful for you, if anything we talk about in this episode you have questions about, we want to hear from you. So drop a question or a comment. We'll reach out. The team is always happy to support more women because, as you probably have heard, Red Thread Publishing is on a mission to support 10,000 women to become successful published authors and thought leaders. So this podcast, as always, is designed to give you some inspiration, some encouragement, and something to sink your teeth into, some practical steps to get you one step closer to that ultimate mission. Crystal, my darling, great to have you back. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know who you are and you know who you are, and the readers of our book Feisty have a sense of who you are. In that quick little expert positioning statement that we teach, give us a snippet of who you are.
I am evolving into a wellness consultant where I thread all my focus, my passion, and my work through emotional health and healing. And I love to reach out to women over 40 that have experienced a chronic illness, that are a survivor, that want to be proactive in their health and or a caretaker of a loved one who's struggling. And I want these women in those places to thrive despite having a chronic illness, if they have one, or if they fall into those other three categories. And then threading my three pillars of healing into that with nourishment, movement, and alchemy, transformation.
I love it. So anyone who's listening and wants to know more about Crystal, as always, all of her contact info is in the show notes, and you can learn more about what she does and how she does and play in her magic space. In the context of this conversation, you wrote a chapter in Feisty, this collaborative project. This was your first published piece, correct?
In a book, yes. I've done an article in an online magazine, but yes, in a book, this is my first published piece. Yes.
Okay. We wanted to call in a couple of women because for so many, we see publish day as the end goal. And one of the things we're doing at Red Thread is really looking always beyond the book to help all of us with this awareness that it's an ongoing process, right? That in the beginning, publish day is like the day you give birth, and it's a big day. We're not making light of the big day, but that the work isn't always done. Then I want to have you just share a little bit of some of the ways that you've grown in the last 3 months, so anything sort of unexpected that's come your way as a result of being a published author, whether that's personally, professionally, energetically, all of it. So let us into your life so that the listeners can begin on their own, wherever they are in the publishing process, to begin thinking beyond their book as well.
Well, for me, some personal wins would probably include just the recognition from others, from the publishing team, from friends and family that have reached out with their support in purchasing a copy of the book, giving me words of confidence and, atta girl through social media and other connections. So when you get that kind of feedback, it kind of affirms that, oh yeah, I am a good writer and what I have to share is important. So for me, that is probably my biggest win. Then moving along past, I can't believe it's been 90 days. Honestly, it's gone by so quickly, but so having that confidence and that boost to internally move forward, externally with my vision and my business and what I want to do, and further my writing, continue to write and continue to share the importance of emotional health and healing and how it can cause chronic illness, and just reach out to those women with guided offers that I'm trying to, of course, put together now to share that knowledge in a more personal way so I can help them.
Yeah, awesome. Because one of the things that we do at Red Thread is it's not just about your writing and publishing, right? We're using writing and publishing as a foundation to connect with your people, to increase your authority so that you can bring your wisdom and your gifts to help heal and serve. And the book is the vehicle. The book is that introduction, that tool, that foundation for establishing who you are. But if you don't have any offer outside of that, then the only thing that you're able to give is in your chapter. And so I love hearing your process of building and developing and exploring how your gifts are going to be put to use to serve others, to take your lived and learned experience for the betterment of so many. And that in itself is a process. Like, we write, we put it out, we get the feedback. When it's in a book, then you have to integrate that feedback for the next thing, right? We don't go back and edit the book once we've edited it, we've massaged it, we've spent a ton of time making the book as good as we can make it in that moment. But what I heard you say is that you got that boost to say, like, yes, keep going. You're moving in the right direction. Do more again.
Yeah.
I was
and I know
invited to speak at a summit yesterday. And
you were?
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're kind of choppy a little bit, so you're cutting out. What did you said you were invited to speak at a summit?
I know, a little bit. So I spoke at a summit yesterday, and the thing that I showed up to say was my best version at that moment. And as soon as I was done, I was rewriting my speech in my head. I was ready to give it again completely differently.
Yep.
And that's okay. But this whole process, whether it's writing and publishing, showing up in your business, putting out an offer, standing on stage and sharing it's a snapshot. We don't have to wait until it's perfect, because then we'll never do it, and we'll never learn how to do it better the next time.
Yeah, and that's one struggle. That's one place I've been in lately, is trying to push forward with the authenticity of failing. You know what I mean? Like I'm she's laughing. Like I'm kind of scared to take that next step, and like I'm unsure of how I want to write it, how I want to put it out there. Are they going to understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So just all the feels of that sense of.
In terms of your writing, or in terms of your business offers?
Both. I think a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I just finished an online summit, January through March, and I want to create a book out of that. Yeah. And so, so again, I'm going to be moving back into the writing process of, deciphering these interviews. And then I'm trying to figure out what to incorporate in this book. Like what kind of action steps can I give them, to take out of the book? Or is it going to be a lot of different things? Yeah. So
can we dive into strategy a little bit?
Yeah.
So I can support you in this moment, and maybe our listeners also get something of value.
Sure.
So you wrote a chapter for Feisty. Writing a whole book is different, but not too much different. You remember, in Writer Circle, we have this 4-part process: the visioning, the planning and outlining, the doing, and versions of revision and iteration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're thinking of, I've been in this summit, I'm gonna try to create some sort of reader journey, I want to get my audience from here to here, then we say make a mind map, put all the ideas on one big piece of paper. From that, you can begin to make an outline of the book, and then it's the container to work in. So I would say start there. We have some free resources on our website about mind mapping and then how to take a mind map into an outline. Those are great places to start, because then that container allows for you to put the ideas into a context. Once you figured out this is the field in which I'm playing on, I got the container, right?
Right. I did that a little bit when
outside.
I'm sorry. What did?
Yeah, that's okay. You and I can talk more about exactly how to do that specifically for your book later.
Sure.
Because I'd love to support you on making that happen. It's a great idea to take something you've already done, a summit or a series of interviews or a course, and make a book of it. Those two things go really, really well together. Repurposing similar content is great. We don't always have to be reinventing the wheel.
Which I do a lot of times.
Like,
I'm notorious for
don't
that.
make it hard. It doesn't have to be hard for it to be good. Before we hit record, you said you were also struggling a little bit with connecting with potential clients.
Yeah.
And putting offers out. You want to strategize that for a second?
Sure. You want me to? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Do you want to strategize that? Talk to me about where you're struggling, and then
we can. I've been I've been putting out voice messages with a link for a 15-minute phone call, just to kind of find out how I can support. Reaching out again to friends and family, people that have been on my email lists from the summit, the workshop, and my email list, just trying to connect and just have a 15-minute phone conversation to see how I can support them. Would it be a one-on-one? Would it be a 6-week course? Would it be a membership group? Just to get feedback. And it's been a struggle with people reaching back to me to set that up for whatever reason. I know people have lives and things are going on, but yeah.
How many people do you want to have those conversations with?
How many people do I want to have this conversation?
Would 5 conversations give you the information you need?
Yeah,
or
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is a call the best way to get that into a survey form that people can fill out whenever it suits them?
I'm actually in the process of doing that. I have a couple of other coaches that I work with as well, and we are actually meeting today after our time together to do that, to kind of work. I've sent a couple surveys out already, no response back. So yeah, we are actually connecting to move forward with that. So that is in the works. Like with options on there.
Yeah. When we're trying to get information from people, a lot of different things can happen. One is, you're right, people are busy. Sending out the individualized voice notes is huge. It's super important. But if, again, there's like the energetic level of when you're sending the voice note out, and I've struggled with this a lot in the past. If I'm sending the voice note out with an underlying intention of hoping to make a sale, and then all of my money, energy, mindset stuff is rippling through, it maybe doesn't come through, maybe it's not conscious, but it's part of the conversation. One of the things, and it's harder to send those messages, one of the things that I've done is really just start to talk to people and just say, hi, I'm thinking of you. Hi. I'm getting like more than 60% response rate when I'm just saying hi. And you know what's happening that's blowing my mind, but it shouldn't because it's totally standard. The thing that I want to talk to people about, they bring up when they call me back. They tell me what I wanted to hear without me asking for it because I'm just meeting them as a human. So that's one element to consider. I'm not saying it's true for you. I know it was true for me for a long time. But if you're trying to get people on a phone call with you, we're such savvy consumers. A lot of people think or know they're getting on a call with me asking for feedback, but they're going to try to sell me something. And I don't really want to be sold something, right? And so if what you really want is just the feedback, then a form makes it easier, maybe makes it clearer what it is that you're actually asking for, and you might get a better response. A woman I work with says, nobody wants to be sold, but people want to buy.
Okay.
Right? When you think about this, like, does someone want to thrive despite a chronic illness? Hell yes. Do they want healing? Do they want to support someone in their life who is struggling? 100%. Do they want to be sold a package? Nope. Right? So those are just some thoughts to support you moving forward, both with your book project and as you're getting feedback for your summit, growing your business. This entire thing is a learning process. It's constantly evolving. As soon as you figure out how to do it, you're gonna need a new strategy, because what worked before isn't gonna work again in exactly the same way, and that's okay. Right? I think of this in terms of raising my daughter. She's 7, but when she was a baby, she'd go through these like 6-week phases. And it would always take me 7 weeks to figure out what the phase was. So as soon as she had grown out of it, I'd be like, oh, I get it. Damn it. And I do think on some level, there's some strategies to put in place to help you like keep showing up, to keep growing, keep supporting people. But on the other hand, there's not a one and done. If you do it this way, you're guaranteed this. The same thing with writing and publishing. We're in this constant state of evolution. And when you introduced yourself, you said, I'm evolving. So remind yourself of that. Remember that I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm trying new things. I'm showing up as I am now with the intention of doing it better next time, but I'm going to do it as well as I can today. That opens up so much possibility in all that you're creating, and so much genuineness that people will want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's what I've learned over the past year and a half, is to come from the heart. Everything for me before was so external, the external share, and it just wasn't heartfelt. You know, it's kind of like I had that wall up. So that's been a huge transformation for me over the past year and a half, is, you know, just coming from the heart, loving myself internally, and, you know, writing the chapter, being vulnerable with that as well. You know, the vulnerability comes into play there, with sharing. So
I love it.
So yeah,
let's wrap this up with one. You hold that gold ring that so many people want. You are a published author. That will always be a part of who you are. It will never expire. It'll never go away. What does it feel like to be in that space?
It feels gratifying. Just a lot of grace and gratitude to be able to put myself in that place and accomplish that feat is huge. And it is a huge confidence booster to move forward with my writing. So I know, you know, I know I can write, I know I'm good at it. And I know that I'm open to edits, you know, I'm open to that vulnerability of no, this doesn't sound, just the critiquing, which I've always had a hard time with that because I'm such a type A control freak. And so, yeah, just softening to that level of taking that constructive criticism to move forward with my writing. Yeah.
And that's how we iterate. That's how we learn. That's how we get better. There's the brain is like, yeah, I get it. And then the heart is like, yeah, but I want it to be perfect the first time, right?
Yep,
Yep.
for sure.
I'm with you on that. I hear it. Well,
yeah.
I don't think there's enough times and ways I can say congratulations for becoming a published author. It is an incredible thing to share your heart, share your story, be brave, be vulnerable, do it imperfectly, right? Your best version, but to do it anyway. And thank you for tuning in with us 3 months out and sharing your experience. I'm hoping that this conversation has given people some guidance, some ideas, as well as some more encouragement and a little bit more of a realistic sense of the process of becoming an author, a business leader, a thought leader, that maybe Oprah doesn't call the day the book comes out, but it doesn't mean you haven't done an amazing thing. So congratulations again, and thank you for joining us.
I couldn't have done it without you and Red Thread Publishing, that's for sure. So I'm glad that the divine timing, the divine mistress put us together to create something beautiful. So thank you, Sierra.
Absolutely, our pleasure. That's what we're here for. It's what lights us up every day. Have a beautiful
Yes.
day. Can't wait to hear more about your next book and the next things coming, because that's what it is. It starts the ball rolling, and then the world is your oyster. What else can I do?
I'm going to find that pearl inside.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Countless pearls.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Ciao.